Good morning. Today's November 16th, 2024. And yesterday I did a video walking around Watertown Square and talking about some of the buildings and who they're owned by. And I mentioned a map that I came across. And this is the map right here. It says, what is this? Watertown map geolocation. So this is a database of all the properties in the town and who owns them and when they were bought. So we're just going to click on some of these. Yesterday when I was out walking, I started right here, right around here. So I'm going to zoom in. Actually, you know what? The first house I want to do is the house I grew up in. And it is right here. So I'm going to click on that. And then you go to property record card. And that's the house I grew up in right there. And the last time it was bought was this year, 2024. No, actually, sale price, it says 2019. That's this year. And it says here who the building value, the land value, the total value. And there's who owns it, Murphy Holroyd Simon. I looked her up. She's on the board of trustees in Watertown, at the library board of trustees. And she's an immigration lawyer. And she sounds to me like someone who is doing some of this nefarious changes in the town and pushing things. So now I'm going to go, that was bought in 2019. So the last time it was sold, we sold it in 2007, or my brother sold it in 2007. So where I started out, oops, it's hard to navigate this map a little bit. But where I started out on my walk yesterday was, whoops. I'm really sorry about this because I should have a mouse on this because my trackpad is broken, but I was right here. This is the block I started out on. So I'm going to go to property record card here and scroll down, and that is the old W House of Pizza there. That was the Eagles Club. That's where I walked. This was where I parked my car yesterday and started the video. That was W House of Pizza up until recently. It still says W House on this picture here. Let's take a look when that was sold. So that is 44 and 54 Mount Auburn Street. And it's the Eagles and the pizza place. Its owner is Stedman Albert, trustee. Let's see. Oh, sell price, $19.49. This is one of the families that I believe is not letting this building go. So this one has been in the family since 1949, passed generation to generation. And this is the property here. Now, if you go back to the map, there's a little bit on the corner here. Let me click on that one. So that was the Eagles and the W House of Pizza, and those are the family holdouts. That's one of the family holdouts that doesn't want to sell and get part of this Agenda 21, Agenda 2030 nonsense. That's the building I think is going to be targeted for something. I don't know what, but I did hear when I was in the meeting that there were holdouts and that they were, I mentioned it yesterday, but the way the woman said it sounded like they had ideas on how to strong arm these people into selling. So let me go to the property record card. So that was this part right here. And I'm going to this one on the corner. This is where Dyer's Liquor is. Property record card. 40 Mount Auburn Street. Let's go down. Yep, right there. That's Dyer Liquor right there. Let's see when that was. That was sold in 2020. So I was actually wrong. When I was talking yesterday, I thought that that whole corner was the 2020, but it's the next part over. It's the Eagles and the W House of Pizza part of the building. But the corner where Dyer, so the seller was Dennis Dyer. Dyer sold his property in 2020, and the sale price was $1,521,000. All right, let's go back to the map again and check the further down part of this building. So that big chunk, it actually goes back behind the building too. The one I was just looking at with W House and the Eagles, it goes all the way back here. It's like a little skinny strip property. It's strange. But now this part here, there's a couple little stores there. Let's get the property record on that. This is the little stretch of stores right there in the middle. And that was last sold in 2022 for $1 million. So they want this block. They said this, the city councilors at the meeting in the summer when they were talking about adding the 3,133 new apartments in Watertown Square, they want this block. This is a block that they want. And this was just sold in 2022. The other one was just sold in 21. And I finally figured it out. Look at that. Back to the map. So this end part here on the corner of Summer Street. So this was the corner of Bishop's Walk and Mount Auburn. On this side, Summer Street, if you click on this one, oh, so there's actually two properties there. Two more properties there. So let me get the property record card on this. And this is Demos. And this was sale date 1971. So in 1971, Demos, John Demos and Helen Demos opened Demos Restaurant. They bought that chunk of the block. And there's Demos right there. Huge shout out to Demos. I've been going there most of my life, pretty much all my life. I was 5 when they opened. And during the lockdown, they were one place that did not require you to prove anything. You could go in there without a mask and eat your lunch and not be bothered at all. They were awesome. So big shout out to the Demos family. I was probably the same age-ish, a little bit younger than their son George. I think their son George might be running it now, but it's still in the family. This is a family-owned property. Let's talk about this. This is on Fort Adams Road. No, Adams Road. That's where they live. Sorry. The building property is 60 to 62 Mount Auburn Street. All right, let's get this last little chunk here. It's a tiny little building here. Click on that. This little property right on the corner. This is a nail salon now. Let's see who owns that one. Oh, they own it too. Oh, okay. Demos owns that too. And they bought that. The last sale, they bought that property in 1997. So they owned their property and they bought the corner in 1997. Oh, good. I love the Demos family. Huge shout out to the Demos family. I I didn't know they owned this part too. So it's a nail salon right now, but they bought this end of the building, this tiny little part here. And like I said before, when I was walking yesterday, these properties do need to be maintained a little. You know, they're old. They're definitely old. They could use some renovations, whatever. I'm not saying that we should not have things be new again. But 3,133 new apartments, and they want this block, and they've got 2 families on this block that will not sell. And I think it's the Demos family and the family that owns the Eagles. So those 2 are properties on that block. That is something that the Watertown City Councilors actually said this during a meeting. I am not making this shit up. I was there at the meeting when I heard them say it. They're like, two of the owners are not willing to sell. Guess what? I think, well, let's go back to the map. So now if you go to the next block over here. So what I did, I started out walking. I don't know if you can see that, my mouse there. So I parked my car right here, filmed around here, and then I walked around this block and came up through this back way, and then I walked this way, and I went down through the alleyway back here, and then I walked around this up to here and back through here, and then back. I walked over here by my car. So this is the whole neighborhood I walked in yesterday. I don't know if that matters to you or not, but yeah, this is the map of where I was walking yesterday in the video that I posted. Massachusetts fire alert, Watertown. I forget the title of it right now, but it says fire alert on it. It's Massachusetts warning. It shows on the icon. So let's start on the next block here. Let's go over to this corner and see who owns this corner right there on the corner of Bishop's Walk on the other side of Dyer Liquor. Property record card. This one, 2018. See, if you notice, a lot of these have recently been bought. That's the block right there. Let me zoom in on that a little bit. So that's the meat spot. I pointed that out in my walk. This used to be the green bag here. So this is, once again, these are old buildings. I'm not denying the fact that these are very old buildings. I just want to know who owns them. So this one was sold in 2018. And Herman, oh, that's weird. Okay, this one actually, interesting. This one actually might be a holdout too, even though it was sold in 2019, because it says Dana Meyer and Herman Dana Foundation. Yeah, so this looks like it stayed in the family. This one looks like it stayed in the family and was passed down to it. So this might be a holdout too. This one might be a holdout too. Okay, so let me go back to the map. We'll go to the next building over. Now this one was the old Star Market, the very first Star Market that was ever established. And let's click on that. It's a furniture store now. It also contains Ixtapa restaurant and apartments above it. I think it's apartments, but it's it was the first Star Market ever. And this used to be the Verona, now it's Ixtapa. So let's see who owns this one. Okay, this one, sale date 1978. This one is another long-time hold, a family that owns this. Interesting. Is this one of the holdouts? It could be. It could be. It could be. There's a lot of old families that own these properties. A lot of old families that own these properties. All right, now I'll move to the next building over. Get that property record card. This is 6 through 14 Mount Auburn Street. We're getting closer to Main Street here. How come there's no picture? No picture on this one. So this last sale date is 2000. So this one was almost 25 years ago. And it was sold for $1,700,000. No picture. All right, let me go on to the next corner. A little tiny building. Now this one right here, on this corner, I always think of my father when I get to this one. I think of my father all the way around Watertown Square because he walked around this every day of his life, every single day of his life. This was he would walk around. But when he was a kid, there was an ice cream store right where I'm clicking right here, and his mother and his grandfather didn't speak to each other, and he ran into his grandfather there, and he didn't know him, but his grandfather looked at him and goes, "Hey, you're one of Lena's boys, huh?" So that was his only interaction with his own grandfather. So let's see what the property record card looks like on that building. That's right on the corner. It's a pretty small building. It's been there right throughout. And let's see who owns that one. Sale date 2015. So that's rather recent. That is rather recent. And who sold it? The seller was Brickman Stephen and Mount Auburn Main Street Realty LLC. So that's more recent. It's almost 10 years ago now. All right, let's zoom a little tiny bit more and go to the next building over here. Uh-oh. I thought my computer was going to freeze for a sec. Property record card. So this is 5 Main Street. We have now turned the corner onto Main Street. And these two buildings here, used to be a religious store right there. I don't remember if I think the chiropractor's in the building I just looked at. But yeah, there's been little stores there off and on throughout my life. And I'm not even pointing at it. I'm like, ugh, my filming sucks. Sorry about that. There it is. That's what it looks like. So sale date 2023 right there. So that was just recently sold. All right, and now the next building over on Main Street. This is a pretty big building. And property record card. So this one, last sale date 2018. Gasami Baram was the seller. Oh, and this was Gasami Baram trustee. So this stayed in the family. When I first was looking at that, I didn't notice that. So there's a lot of old families that just pass it on to their kids, and then they have to change like details or whatever. But this building here, it's quite a large building. There. There's like a dance studio up on top, or there used to be anyways. I don't know what's up there now. This used to be Fox's Drug. This used to be Larry's Leftovers. There's like real estate agents and stuff like that in it. But it does look like that one. Might have been in the family for more than a couple of generations. So there might be more than a few holdouts here. In the town meeting, they said there was 2 family holdouts. But we'll see. All right. So then I went down on my walk down Merchants Row. That was where that creepy mural is. And this here is CVS. So let's check CVS. Who owns that? Property record card on CVS. Waterman Realty LLC. Last sold in 2006. It was sold by Friedman Richard L. Trustee. And it's bigger than just CVS. It looks like it's CVS and Bank of America. No. Maybe the picture just shows that. That looks just like CVS right there. Property size. Let's go back to the map and see who owns Bank of America. So that should be Bank of America. Property record card. Bank of America. Let's go down. Yeah, that's Bank of America. That's the back end of it. That's the parking lot after you go down Merchants Row. So CVS would be here, come down the walkway here, and there's a parking lot back here. And I hope you can see where my mouse is going, because that's the best I can do right now. So last time that was sold was in 1976. And I think that's when it turned from Woolworths to, it used to be Pharma City, and then Pharma City became CVS. But owner, Bay Bank, Middlesex, Bank of America Corporation. So that is actually owned by Bank of America. All right, back to the map. Oops. Zoom out a little bit. So this one here is, it's like a restaurant now. Property record card. Yeah, that's a restaurant. And it was last sold in 2021. And then in the corner here, when I click, oh, there's a little skinny one there. Hold on. A little skinny building. Let me try that one first before I go to the corner. Property record card, 55 Main Street. So that's not your average Joe's. And that's Dana Meyer family. That's the same owner as down the street. And that was also sold from the Dana Meyer and Allen trustees family to the Dana Meyer and Allen trustees family. So that's another in-family transfer in 2018, just like the other one we saw a couple minutes ago. Now this one here on the corner, it says there's multiple properties there. There's the Armenian Museum. The Armenian Museum is on that, and there's like a bank and a bunch of other things. I won't do all of those because I don't think those ones are that big of a deal. But this one here, this is the gray building I walked behind right there. I pointed that out. Tresca's Restaurant's in there. Let's see who owns that. Let me go to that one. Property record card. So this was last sold in 2014, and it was sold from McDonald Associates to Colero LLC. So that's the gray building. And if you go back in time, there used to be a train station there. The train would come straight through here. I don't know if you can see my mouse. I hope you can see my mouse. I should be more technical, but I'm not. And I probably need a new computer for sure. All right, so I walked through there and then down. So I walked through the parking lot here, and then up here is the church. Let's do the church. Why not? Property record card. So there's the church. That's the Unitarian Church. They sold the property to the bank years ago. The big part of the church was torn down, and they kept the small part of the church. And it's still the Unitarian Church right there. And the last sale, there's no sale date. It's always been the church. First parish of Watertown. Yeah, that's as far as back as I can remember. It probably was as far back as anybody can remember. There's no sale price on that. It's always been the First Parish Church. That's interesting. Why not? Let's click on the Watertown Savings Building property record card. So that's what the church used to own. Oh, it still says First Parish Church, care of Watertown Savings Bank. Oh, that's interesting. It's still owned by First Parish Church, but it's care of Watertown Savings Bank. All right, and there's no sale price on that, a sale date on that. So let me see if I can zoom a little bit. So this is where I grew up, right here, once again. And I didn't walk down that street, but I walked down here, down Summer Street, and my first apartments, actually I walked down Spring Street. So in the video yesterday, I walked down here, and this was a house that I lived in right here. I don't know if you can see my mouse again. I'm going to click on it. Oh, and that's they actually own quite a bit of property out in front. Oh, that's where we used to park, right there. That's true. That was all there. Let's see who owns that now. Arthur Golden LLC owns it. And the most recent sale of that was 2021 from Charles Patsios, trustee. So that was my first apartment in, I think I moved in there in 86 or 87, and I lived there until 89, and then at which time I moved to this house right here. Property record card, 17 Maud Terrace. There's the house that I lived in from like 89 to 92 or 3, something like that. So that was last sold in 93. So whoever bought that, when my landlord sold it, they still own it. That's good to know. That's really good to know. Although it says Federal Home Loan Mortgage. Yeah, my landlord, he let the bank take it. So I had to move out. He moved to Florida, and now he's passed away since. He was a good landlord, except for the fact that he stopped paying the bank. So, unfortunately. So yeah, I walked down that way. And then this was, I pointed this out in the video yesterday too. This is Mary Ryan's house, and she died probably around there, 7 Maud Terrace. Property record card. Let's see. So that last sold in 2019. And it looks like it was sold to a person, because it doesn't say trust or anything like that. Dower, Ian Gavin Dower. So that was Mary Regan's house right there. Anyways, I just wanted to go through some of those properties, because I do know that there are some holdouts on this new zoning of Watertown Square. They're changing the zoning laws. They want to redevelop. We are definitely a smart city here. We already are, because they took over the arsenal. It was an actual arsenal most of my life, and then it became actually not most of my life, my whole childhood, I'd say. And then part of it became the Arsenal Mall, and part of it still was the Arsenal, and then they opened up the whole thing, and now it's all biolabs and apartments and everything on top of itself. It's got movie theaters, biolabs, everything you could possibly want in an area. You can walk to work. It's got like a veterinarian. It's got so we already became a smart city a long time ago, but I wanted to go through those properties and take a look at them, because I know that there's some holdouts on this new redevelopment, and I wanted to point them out, because I feel like they have something in mind to strong arm these people out of this area. I feel it in my gut. I felt it as soon as I heard her say it, the city councilor say it. Anyways, that's all for now. I'm going to get into it some more later. I also want to cover, it is just coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the brothel bust here in Watertown. Watertown's very dark energy here, very nefarious energy, and very compliant, except for some of these old families that won't go along with this agenda. Very compliant to the New World Order and the UN's plan for sustainable development. So I'm just keeping it on the front burner. But actually yesterday I heard that 2 of the 3 people that were charged in running the brothel have actually pleaded guilty recently, and I'll probably do an update on that soon. But that's it for now. Love you all. Take care. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Do the thing.